Does anyone have anything they need to get off their chest before we start this podcast? Any confessions? Declarations?
Jackbox Party Pack 4 is probably the weakest of the party packs.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember what's in which.
Aren't the recent 2 not great either?
I think the most recent 2 is 4 and 5.
I think there's a 6 now, isn't there?
There's a 6 now.
Oh, I haven't touched that.
Yeah, it came out this year. There's been like one every year since the first one. All right. Then, if that's all we have to get off our chest, we can start the episode. Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set? Hello and welcome to Gaming Fix, episode 104 on this January 18th, 2020. I am your host, Andre Cole, aka your girl's favorite podcast host, I guess.
Desk builder.
I am joined today by an excellent panel of guests. With me, as per usual, Alex Galinas.
I did not injure my hand making a desk.
Why would you say that? Why would you bring that up? That's a weird non sequitur to start with.
Thank you.
Also joining us, Allison Saigan.
Hi. I can't remember the last time I made a desk, so that's neither here nor there.
You know, it's everyone should try it at least once in their life. Sam Harrison.
I was on mute. Yes. Hello.
And you are on your phone. This is wholly unprofessional podcast conduct.
It's because I'm getting ready for intro music.
And we need intro music because once again we are joined by a special guest from the Super GG podcast, Super GG Radio. Excuse me. Getty from Super GG Radio. Hello, welcome.
Hey, I think the fanfare is way too much.
Nope. This is what Alex Arona got. The Time Is Now by John Cena. You get bring them out, apparently.
Yep.
It's gimmick infringement. I don't approve. It's okay to steal John Cena's music. You can't steal Punch Up the Jam's music. Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it's a lot earlier than I normally record, so if I'm not off here, you know why.
Well, you know, you're in the Chicago area, right?
Yeah, but
okay, yeah.
I mean, I was
it's
up
not
at
West
6.
Coast, but yeah. I know how it is. It's always late
snow
here or super early. But you know, getting up at 6 a.m. on a Sunday. Ooh. But yeah. Thanks, Alex and Allison, for getting up early, and you too, Getty. Well, we're back to our regularly scheduled show this week. We had Game of the Year and then our predictions episode last time. And then like our before Game of the Year, we had our like clip show kind of thing. So let's just get right into it. Let's get to talking about them games. So who wants to go first? Just free for all, anyone.
Yeah, Andre, what do you want to talk about? What's this game that you brought?
Oh, okay. Me? I'm going first. Thanks, Alex, for volunteering me to go first.
I mean, you said anybody. And,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I didn't want to, beauty before age, I guess. I'm the youngest person here.
I win both of those.
Okay, Sam, you're first.
All right, Sam, what do you got?
I had food in my mouth. So,
All right.
Can you review the sandwich for us?
I've finished the sandwich. I'm now eating some dark chocolate.
Oh, baller.
You knew you were going to be doing this podcast.
What's wrong with dark chocolate?
You didn't have to eat during this podcast.
It's very hard to sit down and have food when you have a baby. So I was like, 10 minutes before the podcast. Finally, time to eat.
And now it's during the podcast and you're still eating.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution was to not eat on the podcast, and I broke it within about 20 minutes.
Nice.
Last week, not even this week.
Yeah, at the beginning of that episode, you said you weren't going to eat during the podcast, and then you ate during the podcast.
Yeah, I was very hungry. That's what happens when you can't have real meals because you have a newborn baby. Anyway, so
I misinterpreted that. I thought you said something about a newborn baby being a meal.
well,
Anyways.
there is a Blackadder joke about poor people having children as a cheaper alternative to turkey at Christmas.
Nice.
That's British TV humor for you. So I haven't been watching any British TV. I've been playing a Japanese role-playing game called Trails of Cold Steel. I think I brought it up a couple of times. It's part of the Legend of Heroes series. So Trails of Cold Steel, for anyone who has missed us talking about it, or who has missed the zeitgeist or what have you, I don't think there actually is a zeitgeist for that. A few people have started playing it this year for some reason.
It's like One Piece. People just start and then other people start because like, oh, I heard about this thing and it's probably cheap. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it did. It was on the first 2 chapters were on sale really cheaply before Christmas, and they just got PS4 remasters. So anyone who'd been urging to play them but didn't have a Vita or a PS3 was now able to play them on their TV. So that's a pretty big deal. I guess that's why a few people are coming to it. So Trails of Cold Steel is so you know how Fire Emblem Three Houses is like, what if we injected the Persona stuff into a Fire Emblem game?
Yeah.
This is like, what if we injected the like military school fantasy world very political storyline into a Persona game? So everything runs on a calendar. You have friends who you can make social links with who are also members of your party. You're at this military school essentially, and it's in the world of the Legend of Heroes, or at least the place that this is set, called the Erebonian Empire, is very, very class driven. So there's like nobles and commoners, and previously nobles would live in the noble dorm and commoners would live in the commoner dorm, and nobles get their own maids and commoners are like, stuffed in there in sardine cans or whatever, I expect. But for the first time ever, they made a new class, which is a mix of commoners and nobles, which is the class that you join. And so like the class is really split down the middle. So like there's one guy who's the son of a very high ranking commoner. There's a guy who's the son of a duke, a guy who's the son of like, there's a couple of, there's a girl who's like,
the son of Duke Nukem?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh.
Although everyone keeps saying Duke a lot. They're like, oh, we must see the Duke. And I'm like, go on. But yeah, so it's really, really like a stripped down sort of Persona. So you have like, instead of in Persona where you have like one thing you can do a day, and like it's kind of a big cutscene that's got a lot of stuff going on. Like, so if you go and hang out with Ryuji, there will be like an actual story thing for you and Ryuji to do. In Trails of Cold Steel, you get like 3 bonding points for your 3 days, and you can spend those to have a bonding session with each character. And the bonding sessions are usually like talking heads. So they'll pull the characters out of the scene and put them stood next to each other and talk back and forth. So the reason that I'm like addicted to this game right now is because the characters and the world and like the world building and story are so good. So like, I think we all agree that there are always duffers in Persona casts. So like, there's a few characters where you're like, I don't like this person, and that's just not the case at all with Trails of Cold Steel. Like, there's 8 characters I think in the main class, and they're all really, really good. Every single one of them has something going on. So there's no boring characters, and they kind of hint at what's happening fairly early on. Several of the characters hate each other. Like, it's not like Persona where they all come in and like, yeah, we just love each other, we're all friends now. Where like the character who is a high-ranking noble and the character whose dad is like the president, basically, of the commoner government hate each other. There's loads of really cool stuff like that. And obviously, because it's based on Legend of Heroes, and all of the games are set in the same world, and they have like, they refer to each other, there's callbacks. It's got a really, really good, strong world building. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk. Don't want to talk like monologue about how great this game is, because I'll probably be saying that all year. But yeah, it's a really good combat system. Yes, it is a Vita / PS3 port, and you can tell by the graphics. But they are stylized enough that you don't go like, this looks like trash, and I don't want to look at it with my eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone has anything they would like to know about this game, but I would just say, if you like JRPGs, especially if you like Persona games, it's 100% worth a look at.
How many personas do you have?
So
is Jack Frost in this game?
There is no Jack Frost and there are no personas. However,
get this game out of here.
You make your social links. You also make combat links. So, like, for example, if I attack an enemy and they get unbalanced, the person who I'm linked with can then come in and attack them for a free action. But they've just introduced this new mechanic. I'm like 25 hours in now, although some of that time is probably sat on menus while I'm calming my baby down. But I've just started chapter 3, and like there's a lot of they've just added this new mechanic where if you do enough assist attacks, you can do like one big cool attack. So they keep kind of adding in mechanics slowly and like intelligently. It seems like really overwhelming at the start because there's lots of stuff to learn and know, but it's kind of one of those things where if you pay attention, and there is a library in game with books that you can read, but with history about the world, and it's all fairly well written and good, then it all works out, if that makes sense.
Nice. I think, but you've convinced Pat to play this game too, right? Once he finishes Dragon Quest or something,
and Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I don't know, several other JRPGs.
So
and
maybe
the Dark Souls series,
and the Dark Souls series, and the Arkham series. I think Pat's playing the Arkham series.
Yeah, he's decided to take on a lot of gaming projects this year.
Prolific.
So we'll hear about it next year.
I'm definitely interested in picking it up, but I just I'm waiting until it's on sale again. But
yeah, that was the thing. I should have probably said something when it was on sale, because I was like, oh my god, $11.99 sorted, and picked them up. You were on back up to
before. Maybe you were. Oh yeah, no, you brought little Todd on an episode or two before the Game of the Year stuff.
But yeah, they've gone back up to £35 now. Although I found physical copies of both the first two for £10, which is cheaper than I paid for those digital copies on sale. So you might be able to find cheap physical copies, Alison, if that helps.
Yeah, no, I'll keep an eye out.
All right.
But yeah, I can't wait to get to the third one because it's out on Switch. So I'll be able to play it on the train.
Nice. I need to get my Joy-Con drift fixed.
You do.
I don't use it handheld, so it's not been an issue, but it's annoying whenever I gotta pull it out.
It's too bad you're not in Tokyo. Then you can have that Joy-Con Tokyo drift.
Getty.
Actually, I did have a question for Sam about that game.
Oh
yeah. First question.
Yes.
Is there romancing people in it?
I don't know. There's it seems like there is a clear love interest established but it's also, is it because I like that person so I've spent more time with them? I've basically looked up nothing about the game. All I know is that the majority of Cold Steel 3 is based on a side quest from 2 that you can only get on the New Game Plus.
Oh, God.
So, yeah.
That's some Drakengard shit.
Yeah. Somebody, there's basically a YouTube guy who does only Trails coverage. And he was like, look, I watched it on YouTube. You should all watch it on YouTube. But if you want to, you can play the game twice. And it's also missable on the second playthrough.
Awesome. Yeah.
According to a quick Google, there are romance options, and Sam is correct that there is one they are pushing, but you don't have to go with that.
Yeah, because there's a very obvious like canon love interest. Like they're pushing this character, and she's constantly talking about how she's like in love with you, kind of, because you can see a bit of some of the character's inner thoughts. And she's like, "Oh no, I'm locked in the room with Reen. What's gonna happen?" And like she's like sweating, and she's like, "Must concentrate, must concentrate." So yeah, it feels like there's a canon love interest, but also the other two characters that I've spent a lot of time with in terms of on their social links, both of them have felt like although the one of them could just very easily turn into a really good platonic friend, and I think that would be a really good choice for that game to not have them profess their love for you. But we'll see. I'll be interested to see how they treat it, because like obviously in Persona you can do what I did, which is romance every character and then get the incredible cutscene at the end where they all find out.
Well, no, you could romance the boys too, and then.
Yeah, I don't know whether there's any LGBT characters in this game. There's a couple of characters that seem, I don't know, that seem like they could be, but obviously you're playing as like teenagers, so people are still kind of feeling themselves out a little bit.
It doesn't. Minor spoilers. It doesn't look like there are.
So sad.
That's okay.
Based on this guide, maybe it changes. I don't know.
I had essentially decided to go with the canon love interest anyway because her storyline's very interesting.
Cool. Any other questions?
But yeah, what you're seeing, if you guys are watching on the video version, you can see that the game does, it does look like an older game, but it's like the graphics are really sharp and it's really stylistically good.
If it's stylized, then it holds up for sure.
Yeah, it's very much like Persona 4 is what it looks like. Persona 4 Golden, but with a little bit of graphical polish is exactly how I would describe this game.
Yeah, totally. That looks right from the video.
It's cool as well because all the characters have you all have to wear the same school uniform, obviously, but everyone wears it in a very slightly different way, so you can tell from their from a distance exactly who's who.
So it's anime.
Yeah, it is anime. It's extremely anime.
All right.
There's a whole class war going on. I feel like this would probably make a very good anime.
I feel like a lot of JRPGs would this could be like a short series anime or something, or a long, like 100 episodes or whatever, maybe. I don't know.
But they
get
always
that episode where they play baseball.
Yeah, they always turn the Persona games into anime, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if they're any good though.
They're okay.
I mean, like some of the cutscenes are anime, so.
There's one really good episode in the Persona 4 Golden anime, but other than that, they're all right. There's an episode where, sorry, I was just gonna say there's an episode where they really dive into the backstory of Yukiko from Persona 4, and that one's really good. But other than that,
yeah, right. A lot of the side content is really good in Trails so far. It's like fun stuff. Like I just had to find a guy's secret admirer by going to the florist and tracking down who had bought these weird specific flowers. And he's like really excited about his secret admirer, and then you find out who it is, and like he's like, I'm not excited anymore. She's horrible.
So sad.
Yeah.
Give love a chance.
Yeah, it is funny. And his maid saves him. So obviously I have like zero empathy for him.
Okay. Well, moving on from the maids saving the day. Getty, our esteemed guest.
Yep.
What have you brought to share with the class today?
Well, nothing as well established as I'm sure what everybody else has. But on the podcast that I'm normally on, Super GG Radio, and you can find us everywhere, usually at Super GG Radio. We play a lot of alphas, betas, and just stuff that is in development. So one of the games that I was homeworked with was Scourgebringer. We got a beta key through Discord. It's pretty interesting. What's the best way to describe this? We got 2D pixel Castlevania, Metroid, roguelike. So it tries to be everything. Main thing that you're trying to do in this game, because it's a roguelike, is stay alive. So the map is laid out in such a way where you can pick which direction you want to go. And to start, you're just killing bad guys. The thing that this game does really well is the controls. So you got your dash, you got a couple of different sword attacks, but everything feels so fluid. So you can easily jump off the wall, do like a flip with your sword, and then slice into a couple of different enemies, or try and stun lock them into submission. And then inevitably you'll die, and you'll need to spend your skill points in order to level up a little bit. Since it's still in alpha, there's only a couple of items that have been unlocked on the skill tree, but the screen has probably 40, 50 different nodes that you can feed your skills into. Unfortunately, right now it's just health and one other skill that you can unlock.
Looking at like some GIFs and stuff of this, and I'm finding one where it's like fighting like a jellyfish enemy, and they're like shooting little fireballs at you, and then you're jumping in the air and shooting fireballs back. It looks pretty cool. Like in motion, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it's very fluid. The way that you're able to switch your attack between the couple of different, you do have like a shoot attack, and there's also an ultimate. I haven't played with that too much. I'm more dash and sword, but it definitely, for an alpha, feels really good. I've played some really, really bad alphas. Like we're talking, there was this one that was just a tiny little map, and you run around with your skeleton guy, and you try and get to the top. There's no resolution to it. It made me feel bad, but this game actually makes me feel pretty good.
Okay. Cool. Are there like any sort of objectives yet, or is it literally just get as far as you can, collect as much stuff, and then die and then do it again?
Yeah, right now it's just get as far as you can. Once you die, you go to this other menu with a guy that is asleep, and he's talking in his sleep. But as far as I can tell, for the 30, 40 minutes that I played, he doesn't have any purpose yet. You can buy food items from the store if you find it in one of the map tiles, but I can't figure out how to get him the food. He wants a cucumber. Can't figure out how to get him the cucumber.
Cucumbers are good, but
I'm not a fan.
Hard agree.
What?
Big fan of cucumber.
How do you not like cucumber?
Cucumber sandwiches.
Like this. I don't like cucumber.
What? The fuck?
Disagree.
Despite this madness, the one thing that I'm watching the video about the game here, that map is very Metroid. Like,
yeah,
in the top right corner, it's just got that map that's the squares, and it's just like, okay, you've been here, you can go here. So is anything gating you, or is it just like these are all combat arenas and you're just going to the next combat arena?
It's all combat right now. So the only thing gating you is when you die, because it all refreshes.
Gotcha.
Except for your skills.
I imagine as they get more stuff in there, like some of those skills, kind of like Dead Cells, where they've got like the hidden paths and you can't get down them right away, but as you progress through the game, when you go back through those areas, you can hit those new paths. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
I'm definitely interested, having looked at it. It looks cool.
Where'd you get a spoon from? I thought you had a sandwich,
kitchen.
Sam.
Yeah, you had a sandwich, then you had chocolate.
Did you move on to ice cream?
No, I have a yogurt. Well,
Okay.
It's not technically yogurt because it's made of soya. I have a soya dessert from Alpro because I'm doing vegan.
Hey, they did not pay for a sponsorship spot. No, cut that, Alex.
What if they paid me?
Bleep it.
All right, I'll bleep it.
I would have some serious concerns, and you will hear from our lawyer as we sue you for.
But Andre, I'm your lawyer.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh.
You didn't pick a very good lawyer.
No. Bamboozled again.
But yeah, that game, like you mentioned all of the different like kind of like all the words of like, oh, there's a roguelike, a Castlevania, but it's like all of those sound really good. So I'm definitely interested in checking it out.
It sounds like a game that would have come out 10 years ago.
Yeah,
but
it's dangerous.
It probably learned from a lot of those games that came out in that decade.
Yeah,
for sure.
It looks like it does have that kind of Rogue Legacy lineage to it. But so did Dead Cells, and it did its own thing.
Yeah.
So it seems like this will probably do its own thing as well.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. It very much seems in that vein. Getty, you were going to say something?
No, I mean, unless it's okay if I can talk about Control for 45 minutes.
Oh no,
I'll step away. It's fine.
Yes, please.
I don't want to cause any more hardship than I already have. I know I'm taking up your time here.
No, we're happy to have you.
This guy's made of rocks, and his name is Judge Bodybuilder.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
Oh my god. Okay, so I was talking to some students yesterday. And they came. They wanted to talk to me about Universal Studios Japan, and they're asking like, "Oh, what do you call Universal Studios in America, or like Disneyland in America?" Like, Disneyland America? No, it's just Disneyland, Disney World, Universal Studios Hollywood. I don't know. Anyway, they were saying like, "Oh, we went to the Terminator 4D experience or whatever." And they're like, what's his name? And they call Arnold Schwarzenegger Schwo-chan. Because they can't say his full name, so Schwo-chan.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I love it.
It's very good.
I love it.
Why Chan?
Because
he's massive,
endearing and cute. Yeah, I think that's why. Like, it's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
It's very
fantastic.
funny. Yeah. I just remembered that.
Yeah. So that's. Oh, sorry. Go for it, Allison.
No, I feel like now we need to bring that to America because that is wonderful.
Yep.
Governor Swochan.
Anyway.
So that's Control.
Yeah, that's Control. Number 4 game of the year from Gaming Fix. How far in are you, Getty?
I have just unlocked the part where you need to go find your brother. He's already gotten to the main area, so I want to go talk to Pope again, and I think she's going to send me on another mission. But I'm trying to knock out as much of the side stuff at the same time. I was able to beat the refrigerator boss.
Yeah, and
I'm having a little bit of trouble with the plant boss. I get it down to about 1/10 of its life, and then it just rages on me.
Well, you just got to keep doing it until you get lucky and it glitches out and it doesn't fight back.
Oh, all right.
Also, at some point, you can kind of ignore a lot of the side quests. Like, there's going to be ones that show up on your screen. They're like, you have 20 seconds to do this side quest. You can ignore it. You can totally ignore those.
Yeah, the like, incursion in the whatever, in the incinerator.
Yeah, the ones that show up when you're in the middle of doing something else.
The best part of those is it gets you that font treatment. Just randomly like, oh yeah, love that font.
I find it jarring at times. Whenever you walk into a new room.
Area. Oh, it's great. I love it.
And then it's like, whoa.
It's like the best part of that game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I feel like the TV programs are probably the best part of the game.
Oh,
they have the actual guy that's doing all of the
puppets and stuff. Yeah.
No, those things freak me the hell out.
I know the best part of the game, and you haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, you haven't.
My mind's going to be blown.
Yeah.
My mind was blown, and everyone kept telling me how there was something great coming, and they were like, "It's coming. It's really good." And constantly, everyone was like, "Don't worry, you'll get to it." And then it was incredible.
All right.
I was still blown away.
There are multiple moments in that last bit that are very good, just like moments.
I think I need to replay that game.
I just need to replay that one chapter. But anyway, it also has like my least favorite part of the game in it. So
yeah, I just want to replay the game on my Xbox One X. Now I've got it. I feel like that might be a good a good fun
Oh yeah,
time.
because you played it on PS4.
On
right?
PS4 Pro, yeah.
Okay. Oh well, that's not even like that much of a difference. Anyway,
Isn't there actually quite a big difference? I thought there was.
it depends on the game. But anyway, Allison,
Yes,
you've been sleuthing about.
I have. I've been a veritable sleuth.
Digimon, digital Allison, Digimon. Digimon are Allison.
I played this game for like 9 hours and was like, "This is a really good game," and then never turned it on ever again.
Oh, that's sad because I've been really enjoying it. So so in case you aren't aware, I've been playing Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth, which is a game I've always been kind of intending on playing. But then I saw that the complete version, which also has the second game, is not only on Switch, but then they had it on sale. So I had to pick it
Hard
up.
to turn that down.
You can't not.
No, but it's been really fun. So basically, for my personal history with Digimon, I've never played a Digimon game before, but I was really into the anime when I was a kid. So it was one of those
that movie with the Angelmon, where it's like the big angel, and like it comes into the real world. Maybe I watched that movie a lot. I don't remember it.
Yeah, so I was really into the series a lot. Like I played Pokemon games and I liked the series, but I was definitely I feel like it's kind of a cliche, but I was definitely that person that was like, Pokemon's great for the games, but Digimon has the good stories. So
I said that too.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of people have said that, but that's definitely something that I was interested in. So when I heard that they made a game that was good, I was definitely intrigued, and so far I've been really enjoying it. So this is the second game of our podcast that's clearly has Persona-esque things to it. Only the thing that's similar here is that since you have Digimon,
you can romance the Digimon.
Oh God!
Yes.
Oh man.
Does Agrumon fuck?
Of course.
No.
What about Gatomon?
There's some
Gatomon eats ass.
No. God.
It's 2020. Everybody does it.
Okay. Well.
Okay is the right answer to that.
Just like sure. I just want to move on from this. But the thing that you do is it's a lot of the the aspect in Persona where you're getting Persona and oh my God. Where you're getting Persona and you're you're combining them and you're trying to get stronger ones. This is basically it, where you're getting Digimon, which like when you first start getting them, you are basically scanning them in from like if you have enough encounters with a specific Digimon, you can convert them into one of your own Digimon. But it's also a lot of like doing like raising them and digivolving them, and then like de-digivolving them so that you can just try to get stronger ones, and also so you can try to complete the it's not a Pokedex, but like that's kind of how I'm viewing it.
Is it a Digidex?
No, it's just like I think it's called the Field Guide, which is less exciting. But
I was going to say like a Digi Atlas, but a field guide. Is it a digital field guide?
I mean, I suppose
This guy's just named Wizardmon, and he's just a dude.
No, there's a lot of them that are just people, and you're just like
Angelmon. Angelmon is just like a dude, but also an angel.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, let's talk about Cinderace, which is just a furry.
It's all the fire Pokemon, or not the fire Pokemon, but yeah, the Pokemon have been
starters
getting
are
more
all
and more
furries.
humanoid.
Charizard, yeah.
Classic furry. No, it's a Scalies.
Yeah.
I just like how you guys were both like, yes, I understand.
Goofy is a Scaly.
He's a fire type.
Goofy's a funny animal.
No, Goofy's a Scaly.
God.
Anyway,
Anywho,
Digimon.
Digimon. The battles are pretty much kind of like typical Persona sort of battles where you have an attack, but you also have a special, and it's turn based. So it's kind of like a standard JRPG, but with you're using your monsters to fight in your stead. But what I think is really cool so far, at least, is the story. Where basically it's so hard to describe because I feel like I could go on and on for a good 20 minutes going into the details of the story. But it's basically you're logging like everybody in this world, which is basically Tokyo but future, uses this kind of virtual chat room, like digital world, called Eden. But there are hackers in Eden, that are using Digimon, which at first people think are basically these like hacking programs that are in the shape of monsters for whatever reason. But you are basically given the ability to capture and use Digimon. And there's just like a lot of twists and turns so far. I was telling Andre last night that there was a like side story that I don't think I'm going to ever like get out of my head because it was genuinely like very spooky and really mature. Because like I think that one of the things that they did with this game is Pokemon, like since the games have been popular for years and years, they keep making sure that they can intend that all ages can play this. Mm-hmm. Whereas Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, it feels like it's a lot of it's aimed at people like me who were kids when they first were fans of Digimon and then grew up. And so there's like a lot more of a maturity to it. There's some definite just really interesting implications of some of the things that are going on. But yeah, there's this one side story that I was just like, I need to take a break from this game. It kind of messed me up. So it's really cool. One of the things that I kind of wish was a little bit better implemented was basically you are, among many other things that are going on, you're also a cyber sleuth at this detective agency, which for plot reasons, you're able to do a lot of stuff with like jumping into computers and things like in a very Digimon way. But there's some basic like investigation stuff. And I just think that they don't really use it quite as much as I would like. So a lot, because a lot of the investigation is basically you get a keyword like you're asked where you could ask people about something like Eden, the virtual world. And so you go out around and ask people until you get the right person and then they tell you. Whereas I feel like it'd be nice if there's a little bit more investigation. Similarly, there's like you have a lot of various things that you can use like that are outside of the battles, like you can unlock digital doors, or you can turn yourself invisible, or you can like there's a lot of like little tools, but they're really used basically. So it would have been cool if they had a little bit more of a puzzle aspect to the sleuthing, especially. But overall, I am just really, really enjoying it so far. And I've heard that the story so far, and I'm only on chapter like 8, or I think I might be just starting chapter 9 out of 20. And I've heard that the story actually like ramps up even further near the end. So I'm just really excited to get to that.
Nice. I've heard nothing but good things about like that game, and I don't think I've heard much about the second one, but
yeah, it's I think it's a side story in the franchise. I'm definitely interested in playing it after this. It's just something that maybe I'd want to take a break after playing this one and then go back to the side story Hacker's Memory. But
Yeah. Is it going to make you watch Digimon Try?
I'm considering it because it's just like I think I underestimated the level of nostalgia this was going to bring me because I was because there are a couple of times where like I got specific Digimon and I was just like, oh my god, it's that one. So I think I definitely underestimated that.
I know like 3 Digimon.
Dude, the Digimon gets pretty crazy by the end of like the original show.
It does.
I hear it's really good.
The story gets like dark at times. Like I just remember like there's certain moments in particular like the second and the third seasons, which were my kind of like the ones that I was the most interested in. They got like really like
dark
tough to watch at sometimes. Yeah.
Like especially when there was like Apocalypse Mon or whatever it was called, and like they go back to the real world, and the real world is basically post-apocalypse in some ways.
What?
Yep.
You should watch Digimon.
I've seen like the early like season 1 stuff, but not after that.
And then you have season 3 where one of the characters Digimon dies, and it's like completely throws her into like a depression spiral, and you're just like, oh my god, like this is intense. But
let me tell you about Bye Bye Butterfree.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that episode. But no, I think also the setting is one of the cool things too, because it does kind of, if you watch the series, it does the kind of similar thing where a lot of the action takes place in the real world, which is like very specific real locations in Tokyo, but then also digital world. But sometimes there's like things where it's like kind of starting to merge or starting to like move over into the real world. So it has kind of a lot of those kind of Digimon story tropes that you might be used to, or at least if you've watched the show. So it's really, I think, really cool about that.
Cool.
Nice. Speaking of Persona-like games, Alex, I believe you've got and like something like Digimon and Pokemon. You got 2 avenues here, Alex. A path diverges in a wood. Which path do you take? I don't remember how poetry goes.
I didn't want to interrupt because this was good. This is going real well for you.
I wanted to hear you do the entire poem.
Two paths diverge in a snowy wood, right? I don't know.
You got
That's
it.
That's all I got.
So,
do we take the Temtem road or the idle path?
Let's take the
idle path. Did you actually get to play Temtem?
Yes. Oh, are we gonna go for Temtem instead? All right, let's do this.
I played a little bit. I only got like 5 minutes in before the stress test stressed me out.
Oh god, yeah. So the stress test of Temtem. So for those who are not aware of what the hell Temtem is, it is basically Pokemon, but it is unlicensed Pokemon, so it doesn't have any of the characters that you love. It doesn't have any of the. It ain't got no Pikachu, and like it has a lot of divergences. Like when you, let's take one step back. It is Pokemon to a T, to the point where you meet with a professor at the very start and he asks you to pick one of 3 starters. And the first thing I noticed upon getting to the starters is like, oh, I'm expecting my grass, my fire, and my water. But no, the types were like crystal, melee, and
fire, right?
No,
it wasn't. One of mine was psychic. I want to say
it might have been psychic. Yeah, that's what it was, psychic. And I was like, oh, okay, sick. I don't know how any of these like
I don't know
type matchups. I don't know how the types matchups are going to go, and that's kind of interesting.
Well, wait, crystal. Okay, let me guess. So it's crystal, melee, psychic. Psychic beats melee. Melee beats crystal. Crystal beats psychic.
I think crystal and melee should go together because I feel like those who are on meth are probably real good at punching people. But either way,
you punch the crystal, but then the crystal beats
shatters.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, yes, and there's rock, paper, scissors, but then the crystal, like, I don't know, takes the psychic energy and just like, nah, we're gonna hold it.
Nah.
It's gonna make us stronger. And then
Yeah.
the psychic's like, nah, you can't punch me because I block your punches with my psychic powers. Is that what the matchups are?
Yes, exactly. You 100% nailed it forever. But either way, it's very, very, very Pokemon, like without being Pokemon. And it feels like it, it looks like it. But the kind of thing it's got going for it, apart from that, is the fact that it is an MMO. So once you get past a certain threshold, which is basically picking your Temtem, you're put back into the world, and suddenly there's a billion trainers all around you, and you're able to fight them, and you're able to cooperate with them and things like that, which is something Pokemon has desperately needed for years. And you could get if you used Pokemon World Online, which got shut down for a while, which is a fan-made MMO basically set in like gold, silver era. So it's both Kanto and Johto. But Nintendo saw that and it was like, no, you can't do that. Because people were like literally selling for money, like, hey, you can buy this Umbreon and stuff like that. So, anyways, Temtem seems like a better implementation of the multiplayer than Pokemon World Online ever was. And it seems like it's got a lot of original ideas going for it. So it's been really positive so far. I'm interested in playing. I think there's another stress test today, so I'm probably going to jump back in. Getty, maybe I don't think that your progress carries over, so it's probably going to have to start all over again, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I know that I think yesterday was actually the stress test, and there's another one tomorrow, at least for my time. So I got to play, it was last Sunday or so. It was on the weekend.
Yeah,
but yesterday,
Saturday for me.
I don't know about you, Alex, but I was really concerned about the professor in it, because the boy that he was hanging out with, they kept running places, like straight up booking it. Like, I don't trust adults to grab people's children and run places with them, even if he's a professor of anything.
That's, you know what? That's a very fair point. And yes, it does look like it was yesterday. So shit, I'm not going to be playing it today. But one thing I appreciate is when they're running, they flail their arms around in a very bizarre way.
Oh, they're fast, like they're really fast.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the professor's weird, and also your rival's a real butthole.
Yeah, possibly the worst one comparing it to the Pokemon games.
Yeah, like she's just kind of super hella aggro all the time, and just But either way,
the rival in Pokemon Gold and Silver was hella aggro all the time. He was just like supreme dickbag.
Was that his name?
Yeah, but
no,
did it make you lose the battle with that person?
No,
because Temtem makes you lose that first battle.
Yeah,
it's like, you think
Pokemon should
you're pretty good?
Lose those battles.
You're not good at all.
Yeah, like, dude, how good would Pokemon be if it was like, oh, you think you got this? No.
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna humble you, kid. Look, you ain't gonna always be winning in life.
Well, you ain't shit.
Yeah. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think Temtem at its core seems like it's going to be super intriguing, and I'm definitely going to be in for the real one when it comes out. The stress test, like it's an alpha stress test. It was crashing all the time, like whatever, it happens. So there would be sometimes when you walk out of a house and then suddenly your screen would be black and you're like, well, got to restart the game and get my connection to the server back. But like, whatever, I can't hold that against the game. It's a stress test.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would happen to me loading into like the tower in Destiny 2 when it launched on PC. So
yeah. And this is a much smaller scale game than that. So
and an alpha. So you know what? I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
How are the designs of the creatures?
They're good. Yeah. Temtems? Is that what they are? Temtems? They do not feel derivative of Pokemon, which I think is the danger you have with a Pokemon clone, even though it is a clone, but like
Pokemon-like.
Yeah, a Pokemon-like. You're right. But yeah, it does not feel derivative. They feel pretty original.
That's good.
I'd be interested in seeing some of the like mid to late game characters. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if they do evolutions. I imagine they do, but no idea.
No, like I said, I barely got anywhere. It just kept crashing. It's crazy.
like a release date planned? Is it this year or?
To my knowledge, it's going to be. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the schedule. They have one more stress test on January 19th, so that is tomorrow. And then I believe the week after is when they're launching into early access. Or no, sorry, January 21st. They're in early access.
Okay, so it's Tuesday.
Yeah, via Steam or Humble Store, because this is a Humble published game.
Right. On Kickstarter, from Kickstarter. So
yeah, from Kickstarter. It's a really neat thing. We'll probably be talking about it again at some point.
I'm definitely interested in giving it a shot. Maybe not. I don't know if I'll be giving it a shot right away when it launches, but
yeah,
it seems really neat.
Yeah, like I didn't get in on Pokemon Sword and Shield because I played Ultra Sun and Ultra, or not both, but Ultra Sun. But this has enough new stuff going for it to where I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Like it has like dialogue options and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm necessarily as interested in the like MMO aspect, but I'm just interested in seeing what they can do.
I wonder what like the MMO aspect actually adds to the experience.
Yeah,
like, is it just you can see other people there, or
you can?
What?
You can.
No, but is that all? Or
no,
I think you can trade and battle them.
You can do 2v2 battles with them, stuff like that, or 2v1, I think, or 1v1 or whatever. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if there's that much more to say about it for now. It seems cool, and probably next week, I think Pat and I will probably be talking about it if he's back. I don't remember if he's back by then.
If he's made it through the rest of the Dishonored series, Dark Souls, Dragon Quest, Arkham, maybe he'll have time for Temtem.
Yeah, maybe he'll go all the way back and play all the Final Fantasies so he can really understand what's going on in Kingdom Hearts.
And then he's got to play the rest of the Yakuza series so he can be ready for 7.
Yeah.
The best JRPG of this generation of consoles.
7 seems like it could be there. But you know what is a really good JRPG from the previous generation of consoles?
The previous generation of Nintendo.
Trails of Cold Steel.
That was a beautiful segue.
I set him up, you knock him down.
Yeah, we got this, Andre. High fives. And that is Tokyo Mirage Session.
Woo!
So I never had a Wii U. Well, I borrowed a Wii U for like 2 weeks to play, what was it, Breath of the Wild, which it was all right. Anyways, but I never played Tokyo Mirage Session when it came out. I know, Allison, you have waxed rhapsodic about it for quite some time, and I trust your JRPG opinions. So I was like, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. As soon as we saw, I think we were all watching the Nintendo Direct where this was announced as a remake, and all of us went, oh shit.
I think I was watching it in my office at work, and I was really glad that I was alone because I share an office, because I literally was like, like gasped very loudly and very weirdly because I was so excited.
You like had a moment of just
I think I was on the toilet, and I was very glad I was on the toilet.
Oh God.
Yeah, man, that sounds like the ideal way to get that news. But no, not saying anything qualitatively about it, because it's good. Yeah, it's so for those not familiar with what the hell Tokyo Mirage Session is, it's an Atlas game, I think by the Persona team, which very much has a Persona style in like that it has anime-y cutscenes that introduce characters and like set up story plot points. And then when you're in the game, you're controlling a character around like, well, Tokyo. So like moving them, a 3D character through 3D space and interacting with people and objects. And then eventually you get into battles that are very Persona-like. Oh, also there's Fire Emblem characters.
Yep.
That's not the only place there are Fire Emblem characters where there shouldn't be.
Oh, we'll get
to that later.
That's a segue right there.
Yeah, we'll get back.
And that's it for Tokyo Mirage Sessions, everybody.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm only like 30 minutes in, so like I haven't even got to battles yet, because you know when did you get to the first battle in any Persona game?
Yeah, 3 hours in and 5 or something.
Yeah. I played that on Wii U. I played like 30 odd hours of it, I think, like the majority of the game, and then something else came out and I stopped playing it. But I think it's a really good video game. It's really, really good.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because the thing I didn't mention is the fact that Persona is very much high schoolers facing themselves in kind of a, like Jungian kind of way of like, oh, I'm meeting your shadow and etc. So that has its own distinct style, but this is very centered around like Japanese idol culture. So like J-pop idols and stuff like that. So
Alex Wet.
What?
Wet. I'm just gonna no, nothing. Okay.
I thought you were
it was your
saying
game of the year.
Oh, okay,
Sweat.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no. Now we know one person who's a fan.
I thought you were saying like a caveman, like Alex Wet.
No, Alex Wet. Is it water? It's water. Sorry, I screwed up.
No, it's wet sweat ASAP.
No,
Yeah,
but it's water,
what-
then wet, sweat, ASA. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you were going for
Cut
like
this. Okay, back up.
Try
you were
number
going for,
2.
like Alex wept like Jesus wept in the Bible.
No,
I
because
thought-
I was like-
idol
I was so
culture.
confused.
Al Borland, the Somium Files.
Yeah. Totally whiffed on that.
Number
one. Thank you.
6 game of the year from Gaming Fix.
Number 1 game of the year on my list, but
I think they didn't put how do they do the mobile phone stuff on the Switch?
I haven't got there yet.
'Cause-
Oh, I apparently I think I've gotten further than you. Then, instead of just like looking down, you can like
pull
press a
up the
button.
phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are certain points where they like automatically do it if it's like
Oh.
super key story stuff.
Kind of like how
Because
they
you
did
used
it
to
with
just
Steins Gate.
you used to just like randomly get text messages, and your phone was the Wii U gamepad, so you would
just like look down. Yeah.
and like look at stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do still wish they'd put in English VO. I mean, I know not everybody plays with English VO anyway, but sometimes I forget to look at the screen and then I lose
Interesting.
the story.
Okay, I've got two questions.
All
I
right.
got one question and then I lost the other one. What has
Awesome.
a better opening? Tokyo Mirage Sessions or Final Fantasy X2 10-2?
I don't know.
Because
if
the
I ever
opening of
played
10-2 is a
X2.
banger.
I don't know if I ever played it.
The beginning of 10-2 is a
Isn't
banger.
it just a music video?
I mean, it's Yuna doing like a pop concert in like a blitzball arena.
And it's got like one of the best battle systems in any Final Fantasy for some reason, and it's all based around
The dress
costumes.
sphere, that game is underrated, I think.
Extremely underrated. A lot of people think it's better than 10.
The opening of this
Yeah.
game is pretty fucking good, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it is good.
Oh, now I remember my other question. Glasses on, off.
I love that one of the first options it presents you in the game is like, do you want Tsubasa to wear glasses? Yes,
It's like-
no, or let us choose.
It's like immediately after like difficulty. So you're like, okay, what difficulty? You're like, okay, normal. Great. Do you want Tsubasa to wear glasses? It's like on the same level. And you're like, oh, what?
Why isn't that just like, can you change it later?
Yeah.
No, I think it said you couldn't. And
No, I thought you could.
could you? Well, either way, one of the main things it says is this does not impact gameplay. It's just like,
Absolutely. Cosmetics absolutely impact gameplay.
Her accuracy lowers. You don't notice it, but it's like very slightly lower.
No,
Also-
they're lensless frames. It's just the frames, no lenses.
yeah.
I wish it was like Front Mission 3, where you get asked if you want to go to the mall with a character, and that's whether you get one whole plot line from the game or not.
Yeah.
It's like there's basically two main stories to that game, and they hinge on whether you go shopping with your best friend or not.
But to answer Andre's question, I let the game choose for me whether or not Tsubasa was wearing glasses, and when I encountered her, she was wearing glasses. So Tsubasa was wearing glasses.
I would pick glasses, I think,
I picked glasses.
as a spectacle wearer myself.
I think all of us except Andre are spectacle wearers.
Maybe I do wear glasses, but they're frameless lenses.
Are they those contact lenses? What's got AR in them that they showed at CS this year?
Oh God.
I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Anyways,
Finally, the future.
The future is now, and it's terrible.
yep.
Can I use the AR glasses to see what's inside my fridge?
Oh, these are not glasses. These are contact lenses.
Even better.
Yep.
Fridge question still stands.
Yes.
You can see inside your baby's diaper.
I don't want that. I could smell.
They're
when
actually
it
at
needs changing.
CES. I think it was it Johnson and Johnson had or Procter and Gamble had like a diaper monitor thing that's like makes it a smart diaper. You put on the diaper and then it'll like send you an alert when your baby's diaper is dirty.
Hell yeah.
I don't want any smart devices that are covered in shit.
Well, it goes on the outside of the diaper.
Yeah, that doesn't stop it.
Fair point. Either way, we're going to be talking about Tokyo Mirage Sessions for weeks to come, probably.
Yeah,
or at least when one of us finishes it.
Yeah.
I have a copy coming as well.
Awesome.
I theoretically have a review code coming. I had one, and then
then it was claimed.
It was used.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
It's pretty cool.
So,
yeah, and I know that Pat bought it too, so we're all.
Did you guys notice that Tokyo Mirage Sessions TMS is backwards?
Tony Mock
Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
This is actually Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
This is that game that they've been promising for years.
Since the announcement of the Switch.
Yeah, that game's never coming out. Well, it is, but it'll come out on like Switch 2.
I mean, Persona 5 got delayed multiple times, like multiple years. But yeah.
February 14th, 2015 was the first release date they announced for it, and they were like, oh, maybe not. And then it came out in June 2017.
Something like that.
Because I think a lot of people were like,
it wasn't June.
It's such a nice day to be February 2015.
It wasn't June. But oh god, when was it?
I made a tweet joke about it, but I deleted all my tweets.
Might have been
so I don't know when it was.
Might have been 2016. No, I don't remember because it was before I came to
2015.
It was before I came to
2015 was when they said it was.
No, I mean when it actually came out.
No, 17 it came out because it was the Neo year.
It was earlier. It was earlier than like June because I played it before I came to Japan, and I think I played it during the school year. But maybe that would have been like May. I don't know.
Speaking of diapers full of poop,
oh god.
It is actually 100% relevant, but none of you know it because you haven't seen it. I'm in the process of writing a review for a movie called Kim Ji-young, born 1982, and that is a movie that warrants discussion when we're able to do so.
Tearing relationship apart in South Korea.
It is. Yes, it is literally causing couples to break up.
Oh.
Yeah, there's many news reports you can read about it. It's very interesting because, South Korea is a very conservative country, and this is a very feminist movie. And it's actually very, 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 very good. Anyways, we'll talk about that once there's a more accessible way to watch it, because right now the only way is illegal and the subtitles are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So
all right. Well, speaking of things that are terrible, no, that's too mean for this game. I played a little game called Light Matter, which just released this week, I think on like the 15th or something. Light Matter is a puzzle game, sort of like Portal in structure, in that you're in a research facility. And you're going from room to room, solving a puzzle in each room, and then moving on to the next room, while some disembodied voices yell at you and degrade you. And then they directly reference Portal multiple times.
Like how directly?
By saying, those fools over at Aperture Science.
Oh, jeez.
And they do that like twice. And then also there's just like one of the they talk about like inanimate objects at Aperture Science, and then they have like a turret and a little not quite companion cube. No, it might have been it's one of like the weird refracting cubes that does the lasers. So they've got like one of those cubes and a turret in like a room somewhere. And if you're gonna like invoke Portal, you should not name Portal, or not like, not directly go, hey, remember Portal, especially if your game is not as like engaging or interesting as Portal. Because like, I don't know, at the time Portal was like amazing with your, shooting the portals around and going through them, like the way you changed between areas and the speed, and like the puzzles were really neat. In light matter, the idea is you can't touch shadows. The shadows have become like not sentient, but they are consuming everything. So if you step on like a dark area, you're done. You're dead. So you're trying to like jump over shadows. For some reason, you can jump through the air over a shadow, but you can't touch the ground where a shadow is.
Wait.
It's like you get got by Shikamaru in Naruto, and he does his like Shikamaru. What's his name? I don't
The
know.
shadow clone guy. Yeah. Oh no, that's
the shadow guy, like binding jutsu stuff.
Wait, but so you can jump through a shadow that is
you can jump through the air over a shadow, but you can't walk on a shadow.
Okay,
why?
Sure, whatever.
Because game design is hard. So yeah, that's one thing where I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? So I guess because it's like an actual like physical manifestation that's like consuming you, and it's not just like, oh, the shadow, it's like the ground is where it is. I don't know exactly. But then so you're like picking up lights, lamps, and you're directing them, but you're also very limited. Basically, as soon as you pick up a lamp, you can only turn like turn in a circle. You can't like aim it up or down. They're just like static, one direction.
One direction.
And then you've got like that's what makes this game beautiful.
Wow.
And you've got like lasers that you can get, and they're like line of sight things.
Did they tell you the story of my life? And night changes. Did they steal your girl?
You know far more One Direction.
Did they
than
drag
I
you
do.
down?
Dunkirk.
You're making
They film one of their videos really close to where I live.
Harry Styles. Anyway. Yeah. So like, it's not bad. It's just very like, it doesn't do anything super interesting. Light matter. It's
the interesting thing about Portal 1, in my opinion, was like before it got popular and everybody knew the twist. It's like, oh, this seems like it's playing it very straight. Like it's like,
yes,
you are going through these very white labs that have like very plain features, and then the twist at the end, like that happens.
Or either like halfway through or something. But yeah,
what? Why? Oh, I wasn't expecting this. That's crazy. Cool. But like, does this play it that straight, or does it kind of just like turn on its head from the start?
I mean, not from the start. It's a much shorter game than Portal, I think, or at least the puzzles are easier, so it doesn't feel as long.
So you finished it?
Oh yeah, I finished it in
I
like
didn't realize you finished it.
2 or 3 settings. Yeah, and so it feels shorter than Portal, but it might be similarly length, but it's not as difficult as Portal because you don't have to think as much for the puzzles. And even like the puzzles that were difficult, I never had like an aha moment. It was just like, oh, okay, I got it, it's done. And so it does some similar things to the first Portal, like a little too similar, which was like, oh, I'm going to go off into like the side wall, like the vents over here. And like, yeah, there's like a little more of a story, like instead of just like, oh, this person's talking at you, there's like a little more of an actual story going on, but it's kind of not super like amazing.
That's unfortunate because Portal came out 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It seems about 12 years too late then.
Yeah. Like, again, it's not bad. There are some interesting ideas. I just don't think they don't make them engaging, and they don't do enough with those ideas to make them actually interesting. It's just like, oh, I kind of see what you're doing here. Its aesthetic kind of reminds me of like Antechamber, except if it had color almost. Sure. Yeah. Like, and it's not like super colorful, but it's like that kind of, style, like model, like 3D aesthetic wise, but then like the color palette is different and whatnot. But yeah, light matter. I got a 25% off code for it on Steam, even though I redeemed a code for the game. And I can't trade that code.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just this 25% off coupon for a game I own sitting in my inventory.
Just buy it again. Why not?
Maybe I can buy it and give it to one of our listeners. Send us an email if I sold you on wanting to play this game, or tweet at us.
One of our lucky listeners. You can have the game. Andre said it's all right.
To gaming@fix.space or that's a baby.
Yep.
Hi, little Todd Howard. How's Fallout 76 doing? He says he's sorry for Fallout 76.
And he says Starfield is coming along and it'll have Garfield.
Oh, we know. Oh, well, we have our E3 predictions episode to talk about that. Oh, well. Anyway, it's now time for some news because a lot has happened in the 3 weeks of January of 2020 since we have actually talked about news.
Shit, it has been 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then the end of December too, but nothing really happened at the end of December because everyone's on holiday. So to kick us off, in no particular order, this week, Friday, I think, or Thursday, delays. So many delays. Everything is delayed. Most notably, Square Enix.
Andre, you're delayed.
Okay.
Continue.
I've been got. Square Enix announced they are delaying both Final Fantasy VII.
Yep.
That game is never coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
They only delayed it a month.
It's coming out in April.
Yeah. Well, how about
now?
The second half is never coming out.
Right. That's the thing is it's going to come out, but will the complete Final Fantasy VII come out?
That whole game leaked.
Somebody said
if that game.
Somebody said if that game doesn't end with a trailer for the second part, they fucked up. I agree with them.
Sorry, I know you have more to talk about, but it's been surprising how many people seem to not know that this was a first part of the remake. I've talked to people. It's
because they haven't marketed it as a Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1. They just marketed it as Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, so I've talked with people and they've been like, yeah, this is Part 1. And they're like, what? There's more? What? There's more?
Yeah, and it's yep.
So, yeah, apparently they have changed some things because it is an episodic thing and to make it more like a concise story in this one part. And again, if you really want to know, you can find those leaks because someone was able to download the demo files and the whole game is in those files.
Yep.
So
classic. What's the other delay from Square Enix, Andre?
The Avengers game, which we notably talked about on our predictions podcast and said we think it might be bad.
Yeah.
I just want to apologize to everybody. I muted the microphone and then Peter did a huge fart and I think possibly a poo, which could have been the first poo on the podcast.
It isn't.
It's the first live poo.
No.
Look, I'm just gonna say those Game of the Year podcasts are really long.
Yep.
Sometimes
my camera's off.
I can't.
God.
You gotta make those fights where you gotta make them, make the sacrifices. Anyways,
the Avengers game is very
delayed to September, I believe.
What was it originally?
It was May.
Yeah,
so it's delayed multiple months.
4 months.
Yeah. Hopefully that means they actually get it right. Yeah, I know, right? Get a service game right on the first try.
Me and Pat are both going to love it, I'm sure, but I don't think it's going to be any good.
I hope this actually gives them the chance to actually get it right or make it better. Because
they should hire in someone who has made a live service game. I feel
maybe they have. I mean, you'd hope they have.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right, Todd Howard.
Yeah.
They should hire Todd Howard to come in and make the Avengers game.
Agreed.
Avengers 76.
You see that Golden Gate Bridge? You can go there.
No, you can't
wait.
because it's been
Wait.
blown up.
Yep.
All right, so that is there another Square Enix game that was delayed? I don't think so.
Is there
Final
another?
Fantasy
Is there another Square Enix game?
Who knows? Other notable game delay is also delayed to September is CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
I wonder what I'll play, Avengers or Cyberpunk.
We both know
I
the
feel
answer to
bad
that.
for Avengers. It was already like in a weird spot, but I think
That
May
baby
was
just
much safer.
ascended. I know we don't have a video version of this podcast that shows it, but Sam raised his arms and the baby disappeared.
Again, yeah.
Anyways,
To anyone who is watching, my wife picked him up.
okay.
Thank you for
I
clarifying.
didn't just put him on a shelf.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But
Baby
Andre,
shelf.
so CD Projekt Red has a history of delays. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher was
Yeah.
delayed 3 months or something before.
Yeah.
Or sorry, The Witcher 3 was delayed like 3 months before
Yeah.
it's.
No, like 6 months.
Was it
It was
I
supposed to
think it
come
was
out
delayed
in fall.
times or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
The
yeah.
first release date was like fall 2014, and then it came out in May 2015.
Yeah. So, like, they have a history of that. But the problem with CD Projekt Red is they also have a history of extremely bad crunch and
I
extremely bad
mean,
environments.
with this announcement,
Yeah.
I think this was to like shareholders or investors.
Something like
I think,
that, yeah.
they were saying, like, they just said, we're going to be working extra long hours to get it done for the next 6 months or whatever it is, 9 months.
Yeah.
They also said that the multiplayer isn't coming until
Till-
minimum 2021. I think they said
Which-
winter 2021.
Which, like, they had already said it wasn't coming at launch.
launch.
I don't
I wonder if
know what they've said what the multiplayer actually is. If it's like a net runner type thing, or if it's like actually like a co-op thing, or what.
Netrunner kind of thing would be cool. But
It's going to be like Watch Dogs, the original.
that had multiplayer?
Whatever.
Yeah.
You
it
could
was-
like become
You could hack people.
you could become like a scissor lift or something.
The second Watch Dogs had like extremely annoying multiplayer where people would just come into your game and shoot you while you were in the middle of doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of Dark Soulsy.
Yeah, it was dark. It was like a rip off Dark Souls.
Okay.
But yeah, it sucks that they're taking like the extra time, but also like, and we're gonna work extra hard and work extra hours.
Yeah, which like that gives me some pause. Like the idea that like doing basically 9 months of crunch, like that sounds just awful.
I know this is reversed, but it's actually after 2021.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh.
So it's going to be not this year and not
Well-
next year for multiplayer.
In 5 years, when the Cyberpunk 2077 TV show hits Netflix, then it'll reach a even greater height of peak players.
When Henry Cavill plays V,
Yeah.
When they say toss a coin to your og. Like,
toss
I
a
don't know.
crypto to your samurai.
a Bitcoin.
Toss a Bitcoin to your samurai.
Yep.
I'd like to
Oh
point out
God!
that
Do you think their currency in this game is going to be Bitcoin?
I hope not.
no. In the latest issue of X-Men, they explicitly call out that Xavier is the richest person on Earth because he invented an alternative currency called X-Coin.
God damn it!
It's terrible.
That's
terrible.
one of the reasons why he's the richest man alive.
That's great. Either
All
way,
right.
I just want to reiterate, like as a developer, and like the idea of 9 months of crunch sounds absolutely terrible.
I
And-
would
sounds
expect they have
horrible.
been crunching for a while already,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
yeah,
so
and-
probably more like a year of crunch.
yeah, and for those who are not aware, like when The Witcher came out, a lot of controversy came out around CD Projekt Red because they they went around a lot of Poland's like labor laws and like found loopholes that they were basically able to make their employees work like 12 hours a day to like 14 hours a day minimum. Like it was just really disgusting, and if that's going to happen again, that's going to suck. the game is probably going to be amazing, but like, if you're going to delay it 3 to 6 months, just delay it a year and let them do it at a better pace. Let people have lives.
I'm not super confident in me personally loving this game because it's first person, but like still just, let people live, let it come out when it's ready. Like the game will be better if they spend longer on it.
Yeah.
Like that's a fact.
I think CD Projekt Red is a big enough company that they could survive an extra 3 to 6 months.
Yes, or they could hire in some new developers to help out as well.
I don't. That argument is scary because that's kind of like, can we make a baby in 1 month if we have 9 women?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can, but that's not.
As someone who's made a baby,
yes. They could. There's the whole thing like actually crunch doesn't benefit and can sometimes actually harm development if you take work regular hours and let people rest and have
less mistakes.
So things can just go smoother, more work, less time, but
anyways,
it's a culture thing and
we don't
have
to belabor this one. We have other no's.
Yes. Any other delays? I feel like there was one more I saw. I've lost it, but maybe not. If anyone thinks of it, let me know.
I'll do some looking while you look into the next news.
All right. While Alex does that, last week we discussed the possibility of Sony returning to E3, what we thought would happen. Turns out Sony heard us and they're like, nah, we're going to answer that question right now. And they said, hell nah, we're not going to E3.
Doom Eternal was delayed.
Oh, Doom Eternal. Wait, delayed again? What?
No, that was a couple weeks ago. But
oh yeah, no, that wasn't it. Okay. Anyway, so Sony's out of E3. They just said, no, we don't need to be there, and I think they're probably smarter for it because the ESA is a hot mess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
the ESA is a hot mess. Like. I don't know.
So we're not going to get any dramatic, like Sony fires back at Microsoft press conference shenanigans like we did with the PS4, Xbox One.
I bet they will just do it like the day after and film some crazy bullshit to put in there.
Maybe like the week after, because they don't need to do it during E3. Like I wouldn't put something out during E3.
You're right. Yeah, I would go afterwards and just take over the full conversation for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, like I think the most like double middle fingers up, jumping through the air and hitting a wheelchair moment that they had in that E3 was when Adam Boyes and Shigeru Yoshida recorded that video, which was
they did the trading games.
Yeah, it's like, here is Sony's official platform for trading games. That whole thing. Like they recorded that in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so they could
funny.
They could totally do that again if they wanted.
Whoever's idea that was is a genius.
The hitting the wheelchair moment was when Jack Tretton got up and said, "And you're gonna pay for multiplayer."
Yeah, and then everyone was like, "Yeah,
killing it." Hold on, what?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know. I think E3's been irrelevant for a long time, ever since Nintendo started doing the directs. In terms
I think the show itself has been irrelevant, maybe, but the week / the like season finale of video games news is still pretty relevant.
I think having everyone in one room from the industry is very valuable because that's where people do networking, that's where deals get made, etc. But I think in terms of a press event, in terms of holding press conferences, that's not really relevant because in the late 90s and the early 2000s, we relied on press because, that was the best way to get the message across, especially to the mainstream. But now companies are just reaching out directly. Like Nintendo Directs, when they started doing that 5-6 years ago, like they were like, yep, they've been doing it, they've been nailing it, and that's the best way to convey the message.
Also, like, I don't know the exact cost, but I imagine like doing some of those large E3 professors, like, the cost has to be out there, where it's like a Nintendo Direct is basically, hey, we're going to get people from the company say, play this game is going to come out, and people are just as excited, if not more excited.
They've already got people employed in those positions And so, might as well pay him to do something. So, hey, make a video.
Right. So it's like one of those things where it's hard to imagine that if you're like somebody who's so established as like Sony, that it would be, worth the cost of like the last time that they did one where they were doing like all the different areas and stuff. Like
they spent a lot of money on that for some reason.
Yeah. So just for context, E3, the cost of a booth, a 600 square foot booth, with no electricity, no rented TVs, no nothing, just the booth space is $10,000 per day. Yeah. And that's a 600 square foot booth. Like Sony and Microsoft had like much larger booths. Like it was probably in the range of $100,000 to $200,000 per day for booth.
And that's just the booth.
And that's not electricity. That's not equipment. That's not the union setting everything up for you.
Yeah.
So it was probably costing them at least $1 million per year just to be there.
If not more.
Especially and like once you have the press conference in there, I have no idea what that costs.
Well, especially since also they're like paying for people to fly out there. They're paying for people to promote it, setting up, like getting things playable and ready for E3.
Oh yeah. Like people are crunching, making demos that work. Like it's done.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I can't imagine that it's that big of a
like what really
benefit now.
Yeah. What benefit did they get?
They get some sick Bang energy drinks.
Bang?
I mean, then it's all worth it.
You don't want to drink that.
What is Bang?
Oh, you don't know about Bang?
Like the crack of energy drinks now.
Just follow the CEO on Instagram. That's everything you need to know.
He's a bad guy.
I'm gonna Google.
I think he's been ousted. Bang Energy. Bang
Energy.
They had a big presence at E3.
I was not aware.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing about E3 is like they're trying to like become like a more invite consumers in, but they're just kind of hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
It's
just turning into PAX in a way.
Not even though, because PAX has like games everywhere, and I haven't been to PAX, but my impression is there's games all over the place. There's indie games, there's Microsoft, there's Sony, there's Nintendo.
Yep.
You don't have you can get to Microsoft if you have an E3 badge, but there's no EA, there's no Sony. And like indie games can't afford to be at E3 outside of like the indie mega booth, or they can be at like the Devolver thing if they're part of Devolver's. I assume Devolver only does Devolver stuff at their parking lot.
They might do a mega booth equivalent where they have like 5 to 10 developers. Because what indie developer can afford $10,000 a day plus electricity?
Annapurna and Devolver, or not developer but publisher. And so like indie devs can't afford to, like they can maybe go and like meet back, but they can't like show off their game unless they get lucky and Sony gives them some spot, but Sony's not there. So you got like Nintendo and maybe Microsoft, but it's so like I don't know who this show is supposed to be for anymore. Like I don't know why you would buy an E3 ticket. Like if you're a listener and you want to buy an E3 ticket, let us know why in the email gaming.
If I lived in the US, I would probably buy one.
Really love
activated.
I heard that they're gonna add the entertainment for while you're sitting or standing in line. Have somebody come around and entertain you.
I have to say, like, if I was in the area, I'd probably consider getting a pass.
It'll be Sam's baby pooping.
Especially I think that there is still, especially from people who have been playing games for a long time, there's still some level of like mystique about like, oh, I'm going to E3, but I don't know. Like I just remember like in the early 2000s watching G4 and they had like E3 footage, and I'm like, wow, it'd be so cool if I could go there. But then it's like,
if I could go to like the 2006 E3, sure, I'd love that.
but like
not 2020,
right? Like the value proposition keeps going down. Of like,
since the advent of things like PAX, etc.
I'd personally much rather go to PAX than to E3.
But
for sure.
When I think of Giant Bomb did the demo disc, whatever it was, what was it called? The demo derby?
The demo derby.
Yeah, and they would frequently have like video segments from E3s of like late 90s, early 2000s, and like that era of E3
wild
was insane. Yeah, and like that was totally something to aspire to, and something like that one event a year. You're like, I'm gonna take my week off of work and watch what's happening. But
that is when all the video game news happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But now, I don't know.
Yeah, like there's like a big influx of news, but that's just like because that's how it's always been, and like there's less news there because it's spread out throughout the year now.
Totally.
And like, oh, we've got stuff here, but then we'll have even more Gamescom and stuff like that.
Gamescom, and then the Game Awards, and then like just various things.
The industry is probably better for it to have it that way, but it just the ESA is showing again and again that they're
that's
right.
Whole,
they need
to
figure out something.
That's a separate issue. The ESA is a garbage.
But they're the ones who run E3 and do it and put it on. And if they're so they're kind of the clusterfuck. And so EA or the E3, EA is a whole other thing. E3. Did you know that they're giving DICE LA to Vince Zampella and like renaming it?
I literally just heard that on something.
Bombcast.
That was probably it.
That's really interesting.
But they talked about it as if it was something that everybody knew and was very common news.
Yeah, no, that's why I brought it up. I was like, wait, did you know this?
Wait, so does that mean it becomes part of Respawn?
They're renaming it and giving it to Vince Zampella. That's what Jeff Gerstmann said. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah.
So Battlefield, Titanfall, sick.
Hell yeah.
I would
Titanfall
love that.
3, baby.
Oh man, make Titanfall 3, please.
Titanfield.
Oh god.
Isn't that just Apex Legends?
With robots? Or
yeah.
mechs?
Give Jar Jar Binks a mech.
Ray Binks.
Get behind that.
Anyway. Next. Rumor Train, Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
that'd be cool. I have no idea how well Guerrilla's engine scales to PC, but
well,
we're about to find out.
Yeah, Death Stranding's coming. So
oh yeah, you're right, it is. Yeah.
So there's plans already for that. So you'd figure that Horizon would also make sense. Yeah, I wonder if that's like part of the reason Horizon's one of the first ones to come.
Probably.
If it does, because they're already doing the work for Death Stranding. So
Horizon's a really good game.
I really like it.
And also, I think the idea, the idea of Sony starting to put more stuff like their quote unquote exclusive stuff on other platforms is really good.
Even if it's a few years after, like just get it out there.
Yeah, totally. Like even if it's a few years after, absolutely. Like they're pulling a Microsoft, which is really good.
Let's see. So that's a cool thing. Next on my list, we got a new Nintendo Direct. We actually had a few Nintendo Directs. We can talk about the first one first, which is Pokemon DLC expansion pack. Is that what they called it?
Yep.
Yeah, expansion pack.
This is what, 200 new Pokemon? 200 new Pokemon per pack, or
200
I think it's just total.
Okay.
It's
okay.
total.
So there are 2 packs, $30 US for both packs. 2 new wild areas. What is it? Crown Tundra, Broken Tundra.
Yeah, Crown. No, the first one is the Isle of Armor, and the second one is the Crown Tundra.
All right. How are we feeling about this, Pokemon lovers?
I think it's
I'm extremely excited.
I think it's a good move because what they basically said was that they're doing this instead of having another version that's like the upgraded version, like the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or
if they did another one of those, I would just I would personally go down to Nintendo HQ and I would slap Miyamoto.
Oh no! Don't slap Miyamoto.
So instead of having us play buy another game and then have to start it all over again, this is basically like, here we're going to add the extra content, we're going to add all the extra stuff, but you just pay $30 for the DLC.
That's still pretty expensive though, because they charge $60 for the base game.
But I mean, 200 new Pokemon and like 2 new wild areas, and they're adding in a bunch of like characters and stuff like that,
and like challenges, and I think gyms too. I don't know.
If it was a good game, like that seemed like a good value.
Yeah, I just know that I have some friends who specifically wait for like the ultra versions.
Well, now they don't have
Ultra
to.
Sun Moon. Yeah, but like they also wait because they can have all that extra content for $40. Whereas now, if they want, even if they wait, they're probably gonna have to pay at least $90, which, you know, for them, they're just like, that's a lot. So
right. I think that's totally fair. It's just I think that
that's their choice that they have made.
Yeah.
I just think that moving over to this model, it makes more sense. It's just like I definitely heard that before too, but I mean, maybe I think maybe this is like the growing pains generation of like, okay, we're going to not have all the Pokemon in there. Also, we're going to do it this way instead of that way. But I think like overall, hopefully it'll be better for it.
Yeah. I honestly, if like, I think because like the DS, the 3DS didn't have, as far as I know, didn't have like proper network support for like DLC, like as far as their infrastructure. Like it makes sense that now that they've got the Switch that they would transfer or like change their strategy to doing DLC instead of building a whole new game. Because that's like a whole lot of stuff they just don't have to do with like revamping gyms and stuff for, or like, you know, story or whatever for the for like beginning of the game. And then you don't, like, now that the games are $60, you don't make people go who bought $60 game who want that extra content go buy another $60 game if they want like the complete version or whatever. So yeah, like Monster Hunter did the same thing this year or last year, and they were smarter for it, and I think the game benefited from that. So next on our list you forgot about
the
next Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
No, but we forgot about the other thing that was late in that Pokemon Direct, which is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, right.
On the Switch.
That's pretty cool.
Is that a remaster, a port, or a new game?
It's a remake, I think.
Yeah, it looks like
because it's basically the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but it's a completely new art style because the first one was on Game Boy Advance. Yeah. And
I see.
This one, it has kind of like that Okami, like hard lines art style, which is cool.
It has kind of like a storybook. So there's actually a demo that you can play right now, and I actually played it, and it seems really good. It's not a very long demo, but I'm really excited that they're bringing back some of the spin-off games from the Pokemon series.
Yeah.
Pokemon Pinball.
Yeah, Pokemon Pinball, please. That game was
Pokemon
great.
Snap.
Hell yeah.
That? Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
That's what we need.
Christ.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nintendo. HAL. Is it HAL that made Pokemon Snap? I don't even know.
Was it HAL? I don't know, because that was Iwata's company.
I mean, like,
it was HAL.
Interesting.
Nailed it.
That. Nice.
I just, like, in my head, I have like the turning on Pokemon Snap and having the HAL Laboratories logo there.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
I don't know why. It's been like 20 years, or not 20, like 20 years since I played that game. Oh my God.
Yep.
Remake Pokemon
don't think about
Coliseum.
Yeah.
So Andre, what was in the other Direct?
What
wasn't in it?
An interesting end to the Fighter Pass Season 1.
Oh man, there's so much they could choose from, man. Like, they have all these awesome series. What could they possibly pick?
They could do look, okay.
Did they get Waluigi in? Did they get
Waluigi? No Waluigi, but like, look, Kingdom Hearts has a long and sordid history on the Nintendo family of consoles. Sora's right there, baby. You got I don't know who's another character. You got a Waluigi.
Yep.
You got Wart. Wart, is he a character?
What, you can get Meowser.
The Bowsette. You got all these characters you could choose from.
Right.
And who do they choose?
Who, Andre?
Another fucking Fire Emblem character.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like Byleth. Byleth is the new character in Smash to finish out the first fighter pass, the sixth character.
How many Fire Emblem characters are in Smash now with Byleth?
Okay, let's count.
Not enough.
You got Marth.
7.
You got Lucina.
You got Ike.
Lucina? Is it Lucina? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, her name's Lucina. I wasn't. Okay, Rosalina is the one I was thinking that I was saying.
No, she's from Mario.
So, yeah.
Okay, did you say 7
Lucina.
like straight off the bat and everybody didn't hear you?
Yeah, he did. We're counting. We're going through all the characters.
Might have done this already this week.
Okay. Marth, Lucina, Roy,
Shulk.
Ike. Shulk is not from Fire Emblem.
Shulk's from Xenoblade.
Oh yeah, that's from
Chronicles.
Xenoblade. You're right.
He's just another sword boy.
Is it
got
Chrom?
Corin,
Yeah, Crom now.
Chrom. Who's the magic boy?
Robin?
Robin.
Okay, so that's 7, yeah. And now you got Byleth, so that's 8. And like
Yeah.
the fighter pass has been so inspired, like Piranha Plant. Right off the bat, you're like, what? How do you put Piranha Plant in Smash?
Very well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Joker, like what?
Yeah.
Joker's here. What?
That was pretty cool.
The implementation of like the final Smash and like the aesthetic of Persona 5 into
That was
like
rad.
into
Yeah, it
the
was
game
awesome.
and the character, really good. Terry Bogard, nobody saw it coming.
Yep. Simon
What Simon? What?
Simon Belmont.
No, he was in the game.
Yeah. But like just in terms of inspired characters that they've
inspired.
just
Okay,
pulled,
yeah,
like
I'm
they
just
just
talking
pulled
about-
people. Like,
You've got Banjo. That's like inner.
Everybody wanted it. Yeah.
Intercorporational collusion to bring us Banjo and Kazooie.
Dragon Quest hero. What?
Dragon Quest.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
Apparently it's broken, but still neat. Like the way that character
Very good
works
job,
in the
PJ.
game. The way that character works in the game is really interesting. And then they're like, and last, it's another Fire Emblem character.
See, that's the thing that I think is the problem is that it's like the last one announced. Because I mean, like, who basically wouldn't expect that they bring the new protagonist of Fire Emblem into Smash? Like that's pretty expected. But like to be like, all right, here's the one you've been waiting for, the final in this current fighter pack. It's the new character from Fire Emblem, and everybody's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
Should've been
sure she'll
Bernadette.
be cool. I like Byleth.
Should have been
But-
Bernadette and Dorothea.
Honestly,
Tag
it should
team.
have been anyone else from those games.
Seteth.
Oh my gosh, that'd be good. I like my idea where it's just like a Pokemon trainer, but it's the heads of all the 3 houses. So Edelgard, Claude, and Dimitri.
But
What
yeah,
if it was a Pokemon trainer and it was all of the new starters from Sword and Shield?
That'd be dope.
That'd be. I mean, it would just be like 2 people and then a guy with a drum. I don't know. It's like 2. That's anyway. Yeah.
What if it was
Either way.
Inteleon and it was a war criminal?
What?
I mean,
What?
you've already got Yoshi.
Gigantamax
with tax
Inteleon has a
fraud-
sniper
tax
rifle
fraud.
and he has a sniper rifle and he sits in a sniper perch. It's like extremely weird that Pokemon are like, especially because
Alright.
they've gone down like a weird high school theme. And
Alright.
like, so they've gone for this high school theme, and then so they've got one soccer player, one music guy, and then like one nerd kid. But then the nerd kid has a gun in the Gigantamax form. I think somebody at Nintendo headquarters did not think about this.
Maybe. That's interesting. I didn't think about that either. All right. Well, so I'm sure Byleth will be cool. I am. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that it's so predictable and the fighter pass has been so off the wall and bonkers.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, for sure.
It's lame to see them close out with.
Yeah, I think what
Fire
could have
Emblem
been
character.
what could have been cool is if they were like, okay, here's the last character for the Fire Pass. It's I don't know, Waluigi. But then they introduce like, okay, we're here. That we're doing this next fighter pass, and we're going to be starting with Byleth. So
That-
like,
We're
that'd be
starting with
fine.
Waluigi. twice.
that'd be
Hey,
sure.
Next one's Mr. Eyeballs.
Brian David Gilbert would be very happy.
Brian David Gilbert is Waluigi.
Waluigi.
All right, a little bit more news, then we can get out of here. GDQ, Games Done Quick, Awesome Games Done Quick. That's the one that just happened,
Awesome
right?
Games Done
Awesome
Quick.
Games Done Quick raised a butt ton of money.
Yep, $3.1 million ish.
Woo! What was their cause this time? Was it for cancer?
It was fuck cancer,
Okay.
basically.
That's Stephen Amell's charity, isn't it?
I don't think that.
He actually has
think,
a charity called Fuck Cancer.
No, I
Sorry.
don't think Games Done Quick would do that, because if
No.
you swear, you'll get like banned from the show.
There's a lot of things that'll get you banned from
It's
that
the
show,
Prevent
but
Cancer Foundation.
it is
But
Prevent
Yeah.
Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
good for them.
it's good for them that they raise a lot of money, and
It was also their 10th
there's-
anniversary.
yeah, it was. And there's always a lot of really good runs on it, so you can probably go look and check them out on YouTube. Or
Yep.
yeah.
Anybody have any particular highlights that they enjoyed?
The glitched goose game was pretty good,
Okay,
I didn't see that one.
where they did it in about a minute and a half.
that's fast. That's quick.
Yep. It's a pretty awesome game. They did it quick.
That's the name of the game.
It's a pretty okay game. They did it quick.
I watched a 2-person, 1-controller blindfolded Punch Out run
That's
in
awesome.
about 26 minutes.
Oh, there was another one they did. They did the Clone Hero kind of showcase. And if you've never seen Clone Hero, it's like Guitar Hero, but it's open source, so they're able to do real fucking buck wild shit with it. Like make like they can put their own custom videos in it and like have the fretboard thing at the bottom like split apart and like do weird stuff.
God.
So like they showcased like an Undertale themed thing with like sand, like where you'd be fighting and then, or like you'd be fighting sands basically, and then the fretboard would turn sideways and it would turn like to an Undertale style fight where the frets that you're hitting like actually like correspond to like attacks and stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was real cool.
Also, I didn't watch it, but apparently they did Fire Emblem Three Houses, and they were trying to see who would which house, and they ended up Golden Deer, and the voice actor who played Claude called in.
Yeah.
Yes,
which is
I
pretty cool.
heard about that. That's
That's
fun.
Also, there's one of the runs that was fun was the Terraria run, because it went very horribly, but the person who was running it was so positive and good that everybody's just like, man, it went really not great, but I sure like that guy.
That's awesome.
So
it's good that they kept it posy.
yeah.
I'm going to say I am disappointed that a person who was running Final Fantasy VIII turned out to be a shitlord.
Yep.
And Games Done Quick handled that very poorly, first of all, by allowing that person to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep. And then just kind of dismissing them without real conversation.
Yeah.
Which the whole thing was pretty shit. But like either way, they did a lot of good with the event. So
yes, good on them for raising all that money. Getty, did you watch any Games Done Quick?
I did not. I'm a bad person.
No, it's okay. I didn't watch any during the thing. I've just like in the past few days, like I catch the VODs, because who's got time to like actually sit down and watch a stream? Not me.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I personally really like it, like in the background of stuff. But
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a bit that I didn't see, so a bunch of them are on YouTube. One that I also haven't seen, but I'm assuming is going to be really fun, is the Super Mario Maker 2 showcase.
It's good
because they do those blind, but it's just like really good players of like Mario Maker and like Kaizo Mario.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Learning the stages really quickly.
Last time when Alex Arona was on, he mentioned he was playing some Super Metroid.
Alex Arona from where?
From Super GG Radio.
Wow, where can you find that?
The internet, mostly.
Wow. Anyways.
So he was mentioning that he was playing some Super Metroid on the Switch, and at Games Done Quick, there was a Super Metroid Impossible, which is like a ROM hack.
Yes, it was a really interesting run.
Yeah. And apparently that person, very few people have like actually beat it because it was meant as like a TAS, like a tool assisted speed run kind of thing. But like 2 people have like beaten it, or like 2 people run it, I guess. I don't know. It looks like a nightmare, but
Yes.
that was a cool thing too.
There was one point where he died to the same boss like 7 times because it was just so hard. It was Ridley actually, but
okay. Well, spoilers anyway. Moving on, a few more things.
Yep.
We got a Resident Evil 3 and Nemesis trailer. They showed off what Nemesis actually looks like in the new Resident Evil 3 game,
and it's awesome.
Yeah, they put out some like new information. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but he's got some teeth on that guy.
Yeah, he looks like the perfect up-res of the original like PS1 version.
Yeah, he's got a flamethrower. He had a chain gun in the first one, like a rocket launcher, but flamethrower now.
Yeah.
I'm
super looking forward to that game because Resident Evil 3 of the PlayStation Resident Evils and maybe PlayStation 2 Resident Evils, it was my favorite. So
okay, I was wow, that was loud.
This is aggressive.
Now we can't cut it because we addressed it, so we can't just.
Sorry,
like,
I thought
that.
my microphone was muted. Everybody.
For those listening at home, that was Sam's knuckles.
That was Sam's baby. All right. So that game is definitively not first person. Based on that trailer, because there was still some speculation, but definitively not first person.
So sad.
At least some speculation on our end.
That was a prediction.
All right. I know who wrote this, but I don't know what they're referencing. Got some fresh anime news. What's the fresh anime news?
It's relevant to our interests because it was announced a couple hours ago that Made in Abyss Season 2 was just announced.
Ooh.
So, yeah. And that show is amazing. And I know most of you guys didn't like it, but I still think that's probably the best show that came out this decade.
I didn't hate it. It lost my attention at the end. I liked the first few.
It was just hard to watch sometimes.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's extremely violent. And
I'm more interested in the world that they've built than I am in like the characters they've got that they're showing us. But
yeah. So Season 2 is announced.
I thought you were gonna bring up the new Higurashi.
Oh fuck yeah, that is also coming.
I think we mentioned that before.
We talked about it
on the Game of the Year podcast.
We mentioned it in our chats. We didn't talk about it on a podcast.
I feel like it came up anyway. I think that'll do it for this episode. Unless anybody has anything else they want to talk about. No? Okay. Well, that is going to do it for episode 104 of the Gaming Fix podcast on this January 18th, 2020. I have been your host, Andre Cole, aka your girl's favorite podcast host. I have been joined. You can find me on Twitter at Coolsloth, COOLSL4W. You can find the podcast on Twitter at Fix Podcasts or the website fix.space. Tell your friends, review us wherever you get your podcasts if they allow.
You're missing one of our core places to find us.
I do not think we should put our guest on Pornhub.
We're not putting this episode on Pornhub?
I don't know. Does Getty want to be on Pornhub?
I'm in for what is it? In for $1.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, there we go.
Is the English saying? I don't know what you guys have.
It's already too late.
That's what we say too.
Yep.
But
yeah, sure. So you can find us at Pornhub at COOLSL4W.
Yep. That's Allison, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter at WRITERSERENYTY.
Sam?
You can find me on Twitter at SGCH.
And Alex?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that is going to do it.
But wait,
one quick thing. There's more.
Where can we find a certain?
Oh
Getty?
yeah. Sorry. Getty. Oh my God.
Are you going to actually make me do this?
Plug yourself.
Jesus.
Plug your podcast.
I'll plug the podcast because I try not to check Twitter myself. Somebody monitors it.
Smart.
So you can find Super GG Radio at Twitter at Super GG Radio. We have an email address. You can email us. It's superggradio@gmail.com. It's always all one word. Yeah, that's mostly where you can find it. I think we have a WordPress blog, but I've never used it.
Killing it. We'll hopefully have some reviews up on Fix.space soon. I think Pat's got a Mech Warrior review ready to go.
Yep.
I don't know. I'll review something.
I got a couple in the chambers.
I can't stop playing The Witcher 3 or Destiny 2, so who knows?
Maybe you should write a Witcher 3 review.
Maybe. I'm looking for Dandelion right now. So I'm like
3 stars. Oh, I should mention. Sorry.
That game is a perfect game.
Andre, you should see if you haven't. Jake Decker from GameSpot did a video called the correct way to play The Witcher 3. I won't spoil it for you, but I laughed a lot. It's very good.
Okay.
And for what it's worth, I have watched the first 2 episodes of the Witcher Netflix series.
It's.
I loved that show. I watched it in one day.
It's good. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's cheesy and very like early 2000s, late 90s production value.
Yeah.
I see everybody keeps saying the production value looks bad, but I'm like, I don't see this.
It looks
Everyone
cheap.
Looks great.
I mean, well, it doesn't look bad. It looks cheap though. Like it looks like Netflix didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. Which isn't like a bad thing. I think it works. I think it works for like the quality of the show, and I don't think it's like, oh, they're like obviously on a soundstage, so I'm taken out of it. It's just it harkens back to an older era of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they definitely spend their money on Henry Cavill, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Last thing, there is a humble bundle for Australian wildfire relief donation. $25 goes to help wild animals in Australia affected by the wildfires. I'm going to buy one of those bundles and give it away on the Fix podcast Twitter account. So that'll go up sometime shortly after this podcast goes live.
But even if you don't win it, there's a lot of really good games in it, like Hollow Knight and Void Bastards and Euro Truck Simulator.
A whole lot of games.
It's a good deal, so I would recommend it, even if you don't win it, because it's going for a good cause.
And also support them firefighters and animals, because that shit in Australia is awful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like when there were those huge fires in I think I have to let my wife into the house.
Okay.
But when there were fires in California, the Australians flew in to help fight fires. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, and same like being from Oregon, a place that has been ravaged by wildfires in recent years. Heart goes out to all those folks. So yes, look for that on the podcast, or go buy it yourself and support those folks. A lot of game devs have been doing stuff to support the fire stuff. Anyways. So yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Have a good afternoon.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Have a nice life.
Be well.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye. That was a really funny ending. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Hi, thanks again for joining. If you need a spot, we have this folder available. If. Thanks again for joining. Epic. Oh, what am I thinking? Tappa.